Hello, I'm Luke Hatfield. Alongside me is Tim Spears, our Wolvesman here at the Express and Star. Tim, do you like Chinese food?
Yeah, number 88, it's fine for me, yeah.
You sorted then? Because you're off to China.
Oh, hello. Yeah, wow, big news. Big news overnight. 1 a.m. announcement to cater for the Express and Star's Chinese audience.
Good job you stayed up, because I didn't.
Yeah. So, Wolves have been looking to do this for a while, as we know. Keen to go last year, but for whatever reason it didn't quite happen. However, now, yeah, Premier League, big boys. They're in the Premier League Asia Trophy, which some fans may have been aware of in the past. Local teams have been in it before. Villa, Blues back in the day, and Baggies a couple of years ago. It's a tournament that takes place every 2 years. They dot it around Asia. It's been in Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia, I think, as well. And now the planets have aligned because it's in China, exactly where Wolves want to go. And this summer, yeah, fantastic news, I think, for the club really to be involved in a pretty prestigious tournament. You know, an official Premier League tournament. It'll all be broadcast on Sky, so people can watch the games.
Yeah,
and great for Wolves to be involved, but also crucially to grow this brand that Fosun is so keen to do and make Wolves, you know, a name in China. So it's all very exciting. Man City, could be a few games against Man City coming up. You never know. I'm thinking FA Cup final.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Community Shield.
Yeah.
And the Premier League Asia Trophy. So yeah, they could get to know each other pretty well, we hope.
Yes.
So yeah, it's Man City, Newcastle and West Ham.
Yeah.
Wolves will start in Nanjing on July the 17th.
Know it well.
It's the 14th biggest city in China.
Okay.
Based on population.
Oh right, okay.
Population around 8 million.
So plenty of people watching.
So which 8 million is, yeah, only 14th biggest in China. But as far as worldwide cities go, I mean, it's huge.
Yeah.
And it looks spectacular, looks beautiful, lots of history, and a very nice football arena. The Nanjing Olympic Sports Centre, built in 2005, 60,000 odd capacity, hosted the Youth Olympics.
Someone's done their research.
A few years ago. I knew all this anyway, it's quite handy really. Hosted the Youth Olympics a few years ago. Very, very modern, state-of-the-art stadium, which Wolves will enjoy playing in, I'm sure. So that's the 17th, there's like a semi-final against one of the aforementioned teams, and then 3 days later it's off to Shanghai for the final and also a third place playoff.
Yep.
And Shanghai is in the Hongkou Stadium. Probably not the best pronunciation. A bit smaller, it's kind of 30-odd thousand capacity, but very much built for football.
Yeah.
The oldest football stadium in China, in fact, although it's rebuilt in 1999. But it looks very, very nice. And Wolves will hope to make themselves at home there. Very exciting.
Certainly is exciting. One thing which I don't think Nuno will be too excited about is the fact that they could well have a European game a matter of days afterwards, which is a bit of a quick turnaround, Tim, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. So you'll read a piece on the website tomorrow by Joe Edwards, who's kind of gone through all the European permutations and if Wolves are in the Europa League, when will they play? So if they win the FA Cup, happy days.
You're getting a bit ahead of yourself there if they win the Europa League.
They'll be in the group stages of the Europa League. However, if, as is probably more likely, they finish 7th, which is where they are at the moment, and Man City win the Cup, then they'll be in the second qualifying round of the Europa League, which starts 5 days after this huge excursion to China. So not ideal, I'm sure, from Nuno and the players' point of view. However, you've got to get that mix right between growing this brand, you know, this is Football 2018, and making the club a big name in China. So they've got to go there. They have to go there at some point. There's probably no perfect time to go. However, yes, as you mentioned, there may be a bit of a tight schedule in there, which we know Nuno isn't a fan of. But hey, these are good problems to have. Yeah. So we'll see what happens.
Certainly will do. And Fosun, you know, you mentioned that they want to build their brand, and news today from Fosun is they're still making plenty of money as well.
In the money. A huge profit today, I'll just refer to my notes, of 1.5 billion profit.
That's your monthly pay package, isn't it?
Oh, Luke. With a turnover of 12 billion. So these are record figures, record turnover and profit. Obviously, that's as expected really for us now, a huge global business, brand, investment firm, etc. But this can only be good news for Wolves, I think. Tellingly, you know, we keep an eye on these Fosun's accounts every year, and they haven't really mentioned Wolves in the past. That's different this year. They've mentioned Wolves a few times. They've got a graphic showing how Wolves are kind of setting a template and a standard for how they want to grow their sports teams that they invest in as well. Showing about obviously the fact that Wolves are in the Premier League, shirt sales, cultivating Chinese players as well. They say so. Very interesting that Wolves are getting a mention and becoming more and more important to Fosun, and that kind of reflects to me really just how these guys are in it for the long term. You know, we suspect that anyway, but the fact that Wolves are becoming a key part of Fosun, and as you say, you know, 12 billion profits shows how big Fosun are. If Wolves are becoming a more and more important part of that, it shows how important they are to Fosun and how that they're here for the long term. Many more China trips ahead.
Many more trips indeed. So make sure you book them tickets to China, guys. Looks like Wolves will be heading over there in the summer. For all the latest on Wolves, make sure you stay with us at expressandstar.com.